Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be installing BimmerTech's Alpha One speakers into my 2024 BMW X3 M40i. As many of you know, just bought this car. It has the Harmon Kardon speakers. They're okay, but they're nothing amazing. So today we will be upgrading them. I've put these speakers in many of my cars and I absolutely love the BimmerTech Alpha One speakers, so that I'm sure they're gonna sound amazing in this car as well. However, we have some new equipment. We have new DJI mics, so hopefully we'll be able to get a better sound comparison so we can compare the HK speakers to the BimmerTech speakers. Hopefully you guys can actually tell. I definitely recommend putting in headphones. Usually I use a decibel meter on my phone. Doesn't make sense because these speakers aren't necessarily going to be any louder. The clarity and response is going to be better. The highs, the lows, all that stuff is going to sound better. However, in terms of how loud it is, I don't think they're going to be much louder. We're not upgrading the amp. Hopefully in the future, we do get the amp installed in this car so we can really make these things rock. But in today's video, we will be installing all the speakers from BimmerTech as well as the subwoofers, doing a short little comparison as well. Be sure to subscribe to the channel because we will be comparing these speakers, the BimmerTech Alpha ones, to BAV sound. Personally, I think the BimmerTech ones sound better, but we will let you guys be the judge. So be sure to subscribe to this channel, give this video a huge thumbs up. And yeah, everyone's asking, where's the E46 content? Guys, I'm just starting to get back into YouTube. Life's gotten in the way, work's gotten in the way, EM performance has gotten in the way, but I'm here to say I'm going to try to be more consistent with YouTube. I miss making YouTube videos for you guys, so I'm back. We have a lot of cool things planned. We have a lot of cool E46 projects planned. And yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of that. Without any further ado, let's take a look at the speakers. Taking a look, here are the speakers. These look like to be the front speakers with the tweeters. And we have some adapters that we'll need. We have the massive BimmerTech Alpha One subwoofers. Looks so beautiful. We do have some included hardware to screw them in. And over here, it looks like we have the rear speakers with some more tweeters, and also something really cool that BimmerTech sent us is an Ethernet cable so we can code out ASD. ASD is basically fake noise pumped into your cabin. You don't want it. It's kind of garbage from BMW. We'll have another video going over how to code out ASD, but in today's video, we will be installing all of these beautiful speakers into my BMW. All right, guys, moving on to removing the front speakers on this car. I had to go through and do the whole other side. There was some confusion that I had on which speakers went where. It ended up being there's ones with foam pads. The ones with the foam pads go on the front and rear doors, and then the ones without the pads go in the rear trunk spot. So what we're going to do to remove the speakers is there's two T20s here and there's two T20s down here. We're going to start with this. Basically, all I did was take a pry tool and just went right in here with it and kind of just messed with it until I was able to release some things. It is kind of tricky. I don't know the best way of doing it. I think if you can get it from the bottom, so then if you were to damage anything, you're not going to see it. That's kind of what I'd recommend. So popped off. There's these small little plastic clips, and then there's these massive big ones that you'll see in a minute. So I'm kind of just using two pry tools. And just like that, it's out. There's these really, really tough clips. So this is a metal clip, this is a metal clip, and this is a metal clip. And the way that these things go in are really difficult. This also goes in like this, so keep in mind, it kind of just flew out like that, as you probably saw, but this technically does slide. And there's metal clip here, here, and here, as well as some smaller plastic ones. So these are the ones that go into the metal one, and these are the small plastic ones. So I tried to relieve the small plastic ones first, and then I was able to get the bigger ones out. With that out, let's see if you can see. There is T20 and T20. And then the other ones, you won't be able to see it, but they're pretty obvious. If you go right here and right here. Okay, next thing, we are going to take out the tweeter. And to take the tweeter off, again, plastic pry tool. See this one right here? It actually slides out, so once you get it out, you have to go like that for it to come out. And there's one little connector right there. Just pull that out. Make sure you brace the other side with your hand. Just like that. Speaker's out. We'll deal with this after we get the door card off. So now, to get the door card off, we are going to take a plastic pry tool like this and run around the side. All right, the door is ready to come off. I highly recommend you get some sort of pad like this, sit it on the ground. You're gonna lift up, and now you're gonna wiggle the door out. This door is a little tricky to get out compared to some other BMW doors. It's kind of weird the way the lock cylinder thing sits. And then from this side, can't really show you too well, but we have this little guy right here. It's like a metal little thing, metal little teeth that hold in the tweeter. And then there is one cable holding in the door latch. And then what I like to do is just rest it. I don't like to fully take it off. There is one pin that I need to undo, but that's kind of what I think is the best way, not removing everything on these doors. So this comes out, just kind of pull out on it, and then there's one of those typical BMW clips where it's like these little teeth thing, and you just yank up or put a plastic pry tool in there. Now we can have access to the speaker, but before we remove the speaker, we're going to do the tweeter. Taking a look at the tweeter, be very careful with this grill. I actually dented the grill on my other side, so we don't want to do that again. But this is just foam. Kind of take it, get your hand in it, pops off just like that. Next thing is the actual old tweeter. I like to take a metal pick. I know people are going to be like, don't use a metal pick, but I just carefully am able to get it in there on one side and pop it out is kind of how I did it. And a little comparison, BMW, Harmon Kardon, Alpha One on the top. Now we take the new Alpha One, and if you look inside of here, there's this little slit right here. I don't know if you can see it. Little slit right there. That's the way the tweeter. So you line it up. It's lined up. And you can see that it'll only snap in one way because it only lines up one way. But it's pretty difficult to get this one in there. I struggled on the other one. So my technique that I'll tell you guys is to line this side up first. So kind of push here and then push that side in. And I did it this time without denting it. So I'm super happy about that. Next, we have our foam piece right here. And what I like to do, this needs to come out something like this. So I like to go like this and get this piece in there. Let these wires come out. And I kind of just took these wires and just did something like this with them. And just bend them so they fit into the shape of that little piece. It will not be perfect. Like it's all just kind of bunched up there. It will not be perfect, but it should be pretty good. So there's your wire right there. As you can see, these are still hanging out. We're going to take them. ensure that they're shoved all the way behind, and you're left with just this wire coming out. And wow, look at that. You can see the nice metal in there showing off, and you have your tweeter installed. So that is really cool. We have our wire that we'll show you what to do in a second, but now we are going to, real quick before I continue, I'm going to show you two things. So these speakers right here are the speakers for your front door cards and rear door cards. Notice they have the little kind of fin things. They're a little thicker. They have foam. You also have 3 of these ones. These are for the rear trunk and for the center console area. So you have 3 of these and you have 4 of these. So these are front door, rear doors, all the tweeters and all of the voltage adapters or ohms adapter. I believe they're for ohms. These are all the same. So yeah, don't worry about mixing and matching. Just worry about putting the right speakers. So now that we have these speakers, I'm going to show you how to remove the fronts, and we're going to swap them with these. So right here, we have your front speaker. This one right here on the left side is actually for your tweeter. This is the main one that's powering the speakers. So this one basically runs from here to here. Don't know why BMW does it, but that's what they do. And then we have 3 T20s holding in these speakers as well. So really T20. Cool. We can take back our tweeter one and plug it right in. Do not plug in the main source one. We'll explain what that does now. So basically, as I mentioned, you are given these. They say right on it, amp in, mid out. These are needed for the mids. You can see right there. It says amp in, mid out. And they put a little piece of tape right there. We're going to use a lot of Tessa tape in this video just to make sure nothing rattles. I'm sick of having rattles, so hopefully we have no rattles. So here's your input. Plugs right in there. And then we have your wire that goes to the mid. You definitely need to push in with the BimmerTech ones a little bit more than the BMW ones. Keep that in mind. So now we have this, and I think what I'm going to do is do something. This is going to get Tessa taped, and then I think on the other door I did something just like this. So I think that's what we're going to do. Just like this, Tessa tape this, stick this here. Just like that, speakers are installed. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the door card back on, and then we have this right here that will plug in our tweeter. So we'll wait on that. We'll pull you guys back so you can see how the door card goes back on. All right, so the door card is kind of tricky to get back on, not gonna lie. So what I found is take the door, lift it up. Anything that you removed, attach it back. Right here actually needs to sit behind here. So that's kind of a little bit of a challenge you need to figure out how to do. So what I like to do is kind of take it, tilt it, and it's on. However, this piece is enormously deep for the lock piece. So you kind of have to lift up more than you normally would to get something like that on. And then line everything up. And once you're happy with how it's aligned, you can start smacking it together. Okay, we can see this one little tiny blue connector. We take our tweeter and plug it in. Rear door cards are basically the same. The only difference is we have to take this door card fully off because of the way the tweeter is. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna get a plastic pry tool. You can either start from the bottom. I've been using 2, a smaller one and a bigger one. And then this one has 2 T20s here and here. and then only one at the bottom on the rear doors, not two. Same thing, we have 3 Torx holding in the speakers. Take that out. Grab the new speaker. If you're wondering the orientation of it, always make sure the connectors are going up. So we'll do the same thing. Take it, plug it in. Do the same thing over here. Plug it right into the speaker. Okay, so we have the rear door card off. We're going to pull this off. I have no idea why this is here. It was like this on the other side. Not too sure why. We're going to take the same thing. We're going to take our plastic pry tool, or in this case, I'm using a metal one. Just like that, pops out. As I mentioned in the front, this only goes in one way. That's what we're going to do. This one's being a little bit of a pain to get in. And just like that, we're pushed in. And then what I'm going to do is I want this to line up here. So I'm actually going to push it in the opposite way. Just like that. And I'm going to take this bundle. Just like that, and I'm actually going to throw some Tessa tape just like there. So I think that looks pretty clean. All right, we are ready to put this door card back on. Just going to do the opposite of what we've done before. This one is what no one shows in any of their videos. It's kind of a pain to get off, but I'm going to show you guys how to do it. It's actually not that bad. It's the speaker's hard, but basically we're going to take a plastic pry tool right in behind here. There's just the standard BMW clips. I actually lost one on the other side, so I got to try to find it and pop that off. There's another one down here, just like that. And there's one in the back here as well. I'm gonna get my hand behind it. As I mentioned, I lost it on the other one. I saved it on this one. Slides out, and just like that, this is this piece. So as you can see, clip here, clip here, clip here, metal clip down there. So now what you're going to do is you're going to see there's 3 bolts, and you're probably going to be like, oh, let's take those out. But there's actually, if you look inside, there's silver ones. It's kind of hard to show. There's 2 silver ones holding in this whole mounting bracket for the speakers. So we're going to unscrew it. There it is. And you kind of just take it and put your hand behind here on the bottom. And just like that, pops off. So now this one's going to be kind of a pain, but we have 2 connectors just like the other ones, and we have this little metal piece. Comes right off. And that's the assembly out. Bring it to the bench and show you something. Well, I'll actually show you right here. Right here, there's all this like glue stuff holding it in, so I can't just pull out on it. I'm going to take a pick and just pull all that glue off. So glue here, glue here, glue here. I actually took a razor blade knife on the other side and kind of cut it. So it went ch. That's what we're going to have to do on this one. So I have it all hooked up. I did some Tessa tape down here, Tessa tape here, and then this piece I actually, on the other side, I just stuck it just like this to the other side. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to pull off the little sticky piece, heat it up. We mounted this back up, it's all sturdy, and then we have this and this right here that we're going to Tessa tape. Again, no rattles. This is always the trickiest one to film just due to the space, but basically what you're going to do is you're going to pop this off using some plastic pry tools. There's these nice metal clips that are holding it all in, so you won't really break them like you would on the old car. Like the F10 that I had, all of them broke, but what we're going to do is we have 3 T20s, and I believe this whole thing comes up first. Let me figure out how it comes out, and then I'll get back to you. I believe this whole structure comes out, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this whole piece comes up, if I had a guess. Let's try that first. Just as I thought, this whole structure comes out, which is actually super nice. So we have the tweeter in the back. I unplugged the connector. We have these 3 T20s, and then we can pop that out, just like the other ones. Definitely doesn't look clean as the BMW one, but I got it done. I added that little rubber band back to make it look clean. So now we're going to install this back in the car. Some more Tessa tape on here. This piece, believe it or not, can just sit right here. You can just tape it down right here if you want. Everything's mounted, so I'm just going to actually tape it down, I think, right here. There's plenty of room back there. I might throw some Tessa tape on top just so it doesn't rattle. All right, now comes time when we are going to install the subwoofers. To install the subwoofers on the G01 X3, it is a little bit involved, but hopefully I will give you some good guidance on how to get through this. Step 1, we are going to move the seat all the way back. If I can unlock my car so I can get some power to it. There we go. Pull it all the way back. Or you don't even need to go all the way back, just enough to expose bolt here, they're T50s. It's the other one out, and now we're going to run the seat all the way forward and make sure you go all the way forward, absolutely all the way forward. I'm not going to show you the back just because the camera's already set up and it's pretty much the same process. Bring the seat all the way forward and bring the back all the way up, and there'll be 2 T50 bolts holding in the back of the seat also. And then more. Just let the seat slap back all the way, nice and softly. Now, once you have the seat flipped back, you'll have access to the subwoofer grill. It is so much nicer working on this G01 to get to the actual subwoofer grills. Usually, the seats don't flap back as much on the sedan, so this is super nice. We have a lot of room to work in here. So we have 4 T20s. The front 2, you can use a drill. The back 2, you cannot. Now you can lift up on the grill, set that aside. So now we have access to the actual subwoofer. Kind of unique on the G01, the actual subwoofer doesn't come out, the enclosure comes out with the subwoofer. So to do that, we're gonna lift up here. And when we lift up here, you'll notice that there is a connector right there, that blue connector. There's a little tab you just push on the other side. Put your finger in there, and that pops out. Next thing, this carpet right here. If you pull up on the trim piece below that I'll show you in a minute, you'll have access, or you can kind of just pull up and it does come out. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna carefully pull up and just work our way down. Just like that, came off. Usually you lose some of these. I'll show you how to get those off. There's one here, and there's another one right there. We'll set this aside for now. Not a huge deal. It's very common on BMWs when you're taking them apart, but now this whole thing can move and we have a lot more access. Okay, you're gonna wanna have a plastic pry tool ready once you've gotten out both of the 10mm bolts. Basically, we undid the connector here, but the connector is still attached with one of those standard BMW wire loom connectors that we'll see in a minute. So basically, to get this thing out, we're gonna pull it out this way. And it's not the easiest thing to do, but we'll get it out. So here comes the tricky part. This whole thing is glued in, but I'll show you guys how to get it out. You're going to need a heat gun in the next step. So, taking a look, we have the old subwoofer right here. We have the new Alpha One subwoofer that looks absolutely beautiful. So what we're going to do, super simple, take your enclosure, take the new speaker, just plop it in like that. And included in this little bag is some self-tapping screws. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 spots that we're going to do it. Before we do that, I'm going to run the heat gun around it and just heat this back up, so hopefully get it to stick down a little bit. So it's super simple. All we do is we take the self-tapping screws that they provided and 1, 2, 3, 4, run them in. Do not run them in very hard because they are just self-tappers. And that's all you need to do. They really don't need to be that tight. They're self-tapping, so if you keep going, you're essentially creating threads, so just be careful. You may even want to tighten them up by hand if you're scared. Okay, now the tricky part comes again. We have to install the speaker again, rather the subwoofer. So, same thing, we're gonna take out this wire right here. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to get it in. So, take this. Just like that, subwoofer is installed. So now let's make sure it's not going anywhere. Pull the carpet back if you pulled it out at all. I'm actually gonna vacuum a little bit in there, and then we'll put the grill back on. These are the Harmon Kardon speakers equipped on a 2024 BMW X3 M40i. All right, everyone, speakers installed. As you saw, anyone with some basic hand tools can install the speakers. The only thing that you will need on top of that is either a heat gun or a hair dryer for the subwoofers. As you saw, the subwoofers were probably the hardest part to install, but anyone with some basic mechanical knowledge can do it. It's pretty simple. You now have a very nice DIY of how to install all the speakers, including the subwoofers. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now, you probably are wondering, what do I think of the speakers? Well, I wasn't surprised by the speakers because I already had them in my F10 and I knew how excellent they were going to sound. They sound so much better than the HK. You will be able to see in the audio comparison, or rather hear in the audio comparison, the differences. Now, the speakers may not be any louder than the HK. I will say the highs are crisper, they're much more clear, and the bass is incredible. The bass is probably the biggest upgrade that I've noticed with the Alpha One speakers over the Harmon Kardon speakers. The bass is incredible. Same thing when I put these in my F10. That's what I noticed immediately. If you guys are on the fence about buying these, go ahead and buy them. Take them from me. They make an amazing sound difference in your BMW. It makes it that much more enjoyable to drive. However, as I mentioned, they may not sound any louder, and that's because we have not put in the BimmerTech amplifier. Hopefully next we will be putting in a new amplifier in this car to increase the output of sound in these speakers, and it will sound even more tremendous. So if you guys are looking to see that video, give a comment down below and I'll be sure to see if we can get the amplifier in for review as well. But with that being said, go listen to the comparison, let that make up your mind, or try to take it from me. I've had these in my F10, had them in this car, and I know these speakers so far are probably the best speakers you can buy on the market that are plug and play. I was looking at things like maybe doing B&W, and it was just insanely expensive, and I don't think it's worth the price. I think the BimmerTech Alpha One speakers offer an amazing sound quality at an amazing value. So if you guys are looking to purchase these speakers, I'll have them linked down below. If you have any questions regarding these speakers, let me know. Please check out all of our links down below, including EM Performance for all of your coating retrofit needs. And we'd even install these speakers. If you guys are local to Massachusetts and want these speakers installed, we are happy to install these speakers for you. So without further ado, I'm going to close out today's video. Give this video a huge thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I will catch you guys in the next one.